Need some coins? MMO EXP. Yes, they are real. No, they aren't instant. No one is. But they are reliable and the cheapest around. Use code SCOMO for 5% off. Get you some coins, stack your team, get those dubs, boys. Yay! Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back breaking down Madden 21. We got episode 2 today with my man, Dubby, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. How we doing, Dub?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me. I mean, I'm always excited to talk about Madden, and especially in this low point, this little month of purgatory where we're sitting here waiting and we're kind of stuck waiting for the new game. So it's always good to have some positive Madden energy.
Absolutely. I know you are a person that loves talking Madden. That's basically what you live for every day. So I wanted to get you in on the new series, and just like you said, like the point that we're in right now of not having any content, I needed to bring a little bit more energy back to the Madden channel and get some people excited. I know it's hard to come up with content and things like that, so I figured the thing that I'm best at is talking with the friends and people that I know. So wanted to get a bunch of you guys together, so I do appreciate it, and we're gonna jump right into it, just like we did last week, guys. If you missed episode 1 with Throne, make sure you guys go check that out. If you guys do enjoy this, drop a like, and of course, all Dubby's links and everything will be down in the description. You can see everything right underneath his name, dub.w. You'll be able to find him on Twitch and YouTube. He's been absolutely killing it. Came off a big year, man, and in my opinion, I've known you for a while. We've met a few times in real life. We've had some drinks together. We broke bread together and stuff, but when I first met you, you were the belt. You were the belt winner. You were all competitive, Dubby. You had that mindset of, I want to do a brand. I want to do something, but you were 100% competitive, Dubby. You were at your prime. It was right when you just won the belt is when I think we kind of started, having a friendship. And I'll still remember this will be the one moment that I always remember. First time, it's me, you, and Toke Nasty sitting outside, and Toke looks at you and is like, you can win more money, you can make more money losing and not have to worry about winning all the time if you learn how to build your brand and become entertaining. And this year, and I know it's not your main thing, but what you did with MLB The Show, bringing out Eddie Eyeballs, putting on the black, bringing your character out, man. Like, that was so much fun to see as a person that likes the entertainment. You know me, I'm an entertainment guy, right? I'm about the funs and the laughs, right? So you being able to take what you had, that competition, that the esport, Dubby, and then still blend it together, man, that's gonna be your big success. So I want to say congratulations of everything that you did last year. And I want to know what you got in plan this year, man. That's what I want to know. I want you to tell everyone, what is the next step for Dubby?
I mean, I'm excited about this year because I feel like I kind of got an idea of how to do things. I feel like every day you get smarter in everything that you do. And that's Madden included. Like you said before, it was, how can I get better at beating the blitz? Or how can I get better at using my zone coverage or this, that, and the third on the Madden game? But now it's like, how can I get better at putting a video out every day? Or how can I make my video more entertaining? Or how can my stream be better? And you continue to learn those things. And I feel like, I guess you probably have the same feeling every year Madden comes out. Every year I'm just a year more experienced and a year better at this craft. Not necessarily just being good at Madden, but now how can I turn that into something that's monetary in multiple platforms? And I feel like I have a very good grasp on that, and I've gotten a better grasp just as this year has gone on. Even from the beginning of last year, I look back and say, damn, I could have did X amount that much better. And so for the last summer, I've been trying, or for the good part of this summer, I've just been trying to, how can I hone this craft to really, kind of hit the ground running when this new game drops in a couple of weeks here.
And I feel like you've been doing it. I talked about it with Throne. You see a lot of these people, especially this time, they do the tier list stuff. I'm not a tier list guy rating you on how you edit or how you do your content, man. I'm about, are you successful at what you're doing? I don't care what you're doing, how you're doing it, as long as you're bringing the correct message. And if you're successful at it, then you're doing something right. And I feel like this past year, you made leaps and bounds, building your brand, bringing that entertainment level, and putting in work, bro. You put in so much work. There'd be times I'd go to bed, you'd be streaming. I'd wake up, you'd still be streaming. I'd go live, you'd be streaming. I'd finish my stream, and you would still be streaming. And I mean, that dedication right there is definitely going to be what you need to jump off, man. And I'm looking forward to see. Obviously, I think once again you're going to be working with Madden Turf and stuff like that. I saw all
Of
that kind of
course.
stuff. So
Hmm.
that's going to be going through. Of course, if you guys don't know, W is, partnered in with CC and Man Turf, and those guys. He put some really great guides together last year, and that's like that's what I feel like is my step, right? Last year I try to get a little bit better, and I know you always give me a hard time, right? But I try to
20
get better
20
at the game.
wins.
I
20 wins,
I
you'll
try,
have a Saquon Barkley drawing
I know
behind
we
you.
got
20
that, and
wins on
we're gonna
Weekend
talk
League.
about a few things like that. But I try to bring that like I had the entertainment. I know I can go live, rip a bundle, and have people there and get people excited. But my negative is when the bundle's open, when the bundle's done. I can have 2,000 people in my room, excited about the content, excited about the bundle. When the bundle and the content's over and I jump into my game, my 2,000 goes to about 500, 600, 700. And I wanted to increase my knowledge, my gameplay, my entertainment factor of not just me being goofy on the screen, but actually being entertaining of watching Madden gameplay. And that's what I wanted to step. That was that I felt like is my lower aspect. People will always tune in. Hey, I'm doing bundle battles with CC. Someone will watch that. But if I say, hey, I got a hell game in Weekend League, not many people are tuning in to Scomo's hell game in Weekend League. So
I mean, you say that, and we talked about MLB, and I'm awful at that game. I am the epitome of 500. I've gotten better as the year going on, but I'm a 500 player, and it's like, and I feel the same way. Like, dude, if I was good at this game, one, I'd probably have more people watching, but there's still a lot of value in playing the game. You got to try to bring that way out. Because I'll be honest, Homo, it might be over for you as far as getting good at Madden. That ship might have sailed. It's
I
a
got a
tough
little better
battle to
last
fight.
year. I was
It's a
consistently
tough
like
battle.
right there. I was consistently like right there. I mean, there was every time like I would get into like 20 games of Weekend League and I would have like 16, 17 wins. And it's like those last 5 games. And I just need to get over that little bit of a hump. I had some really good wins last year. And I don't know exactly all the names, but I know I beat 2 Club Series guys. I know I went go like to the last play of the game. I feel like when I do match up against people that are doing more of, I guess, the meta, I felt like I was better at matching up with people that were more competitive. My struggle was when it was just completely random. I'm not good at adjusting at what people don't do. Like if I literally had the hardest time playing the bum, because that was just like, what are they doing? I have no idea what they're doing. That was my hard situation. And that's kind of where I want to go right now because I feel like that's everyone's takeaway. Madden 20 was too random. It was for everyone. Anyone can win on any random day. Like I felt like even in Madden 20, and this could be funny, but I feel like if we played 100 times, there'd be a few times where some crazy fumbles, some crazy flukes, weird things would happen where I would have a chance. Like it would be coming down and you'd be like, why is Scomo still in this game in the third quarter versus me? Like, why am I not winning by like 30 already? What's your takeaways? What was your biggest takeaways, positive and negative, from Madden 20?
Well, I mean, I would never say that's the case. I think I never think it's that even. I mean, I guess it's even amongst like skilled players, but when we say that, we always look at the MCS and who won the money, and it's real similar people that win it every single year. For me, it's easy to say that there's no big difference between players, but the same players pretty much win the game. Now, the biggest deal on the competitive side was that the game was so much shorter and the run was so much better. So when the run is good, it shortens games, and therefore you're right. Sometimes it does keep people in games more often than they should be. But at the same time, man, the players that put the time in will be good if they're able to run the ball, if they're able to pass the ball, if they're able to do your nano blitzes, or if they're able to play coverage, whatever it may be. The good players are going to always rise to the top in Madden. So I always feel like when people say anybody can win, I think that's always just a lazy statement, and it's just an easy way to say that blame something else for the reason why you're losing games. That's just how I feel about that comment.
I got you. All right, so right here, then I'm going to ask you a very controversial question. I'm sure we're going to see some comments down in the YouTube section, and I'm sure you're getting very, very familiar. The comments in the YouTube section have been are awesome for you. But this is, I take Madden, and don't take this completely the wrong way. I know Madden, especially competitive Madden, is definitely a skill-based thing, and there's skill involved 100%. But the way that I think about Madden at a high level is like you have chemistry, then you have advanced chemistry, then you have like real chemistry, like nuclear engineers and like that kind of stuff. That's kind of way that I think of Madden, as not so much a physical skill gap necessarily, but more of the mental and knowledge skill gap there is between the players. And I feel like that's what keeps the majority of that group, that you people, the same people, because those are the ones that are knowledgeable enough to know. And with that then being said, can you then take someone that maybe isn't that group, give him the knowledge? If he's able to absorb it, will he then enter that group just because now he has the knowledge? Does that make sense?
Yes, you're right. I feel like you're kind of spot on with that. I have no quarrels with that statement. I feel like the knowledge gap is the biggest difference in Madden. I don't think it's really like a talent, like physical
Right,
talent,
like Fortnite,
how
someone
fast
could
they
tell
move.
me
It's
how
like,
to. Someone could tell me how to like build 90s and box fight, and I'm not gonna be able to go out there and build 90s and box fight like like with Tfue. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But you can tell me what Joke is doing. I might not be able to do it as well as Joke, but you can give me the plays and the formations, and I can kind of go out there and win some games that way.
Absolutely, and that's where you having good friends being in the mix with a good group of guys, where you have 5 people thinking rather than one person. It always helps. I do feel like that it is a knowledge thing. And one thing that people shy away from is that, man, I'll never know as much of them. They won't let me in their crew. I can't go lab with Joke or this, that. You can lab with your own friends. The same people that you play with every day can help you just as much as somebody else. Like it's not, you don't need to find the biggest rocket scientist to help you with Madden.
Right.
But I do think it is a knowledge skill that goes on. And what happens is, like I said, you can give you the ebook that will help you all the way. It will help you immediately. The difference is when it hits the fan and you don't know what to do next, in the middle of a game, that's the difference of where, someone will be able to adjust in the game or when things aren't going well, and be able to take that next step. And that lies the difference. I mean, obviously you can tell people all the time, like there's people in Joe's crew and that don't have any of the success that he has because they just don't have that extra factor or so on and so forth. And there's people that I play with, like I've been like when I won the belt, my friend Kent, right? There's a friend I've known since Madden 08, right? Has never had any success in the MCS, never really been that good at Madden, but he helped me find the biggest tip during the game to help me win the belt. Like he literally like kind of gave me this one little tidbit of information before the Final Four of that tournament that helped me go all the way. So a guy, I'm telling you, that literally was not that good, but he still had a little bit of information that helped me get over the top. And one thing about being a good player is that you can't ignore information from anywhere. Even if it comes from somebody that you don't think is that good, if they're giving you information that can help you, you have to take that, and use all the information that's available to you to become better. So it is a knowledge gap, but don't be don't be concerned with who's giving you the knowledge, or you need to get the knowledge from the best people. Anybody can help you as long as you're adding pieces to your game. It can continue to make you a better player.
Awesome. So if I was then going to wrap up the Madden 20 stuff, and I was going to say, what was your biggest positive, one feature or thing, and biggest negative, one feature or mechanic or thing that were positive and negative of Madden 20? You look back 5 years from now and you're like, Madden 20, what's going to be the first thing, positive, negative, that comes to your mind about the game that we just played?
I mean, the positives for me have to be the abilities. I mean, at first, there's people that they ruined Madden. I mean, abilities absolutely made the game electric this year. From people wanting to watch it, people wanting to play it. I mean, they made it absolutely like must-watch Madden. And not even so that the gameplay, because we can say the gameplay was bad, and a lot of people in your comments are going to say the gameplay was bad. but abilities made it, one, fun to play, and two, fun to watch.
Right.
It was like, what abilities do you put on this player? What ability is making this player go crazy, and so on and so forth. I thought they really brought another aspect to the game that, in the end of the day, was super positive, especially for us that make videos and play the game all the time. I mean, people love watching these abilities, and I think they really just boosted the overall content from Madden this year. I think I think this year, I mean, just blew the other years out of the water as far as, content and people watching and people playing the game. I think it really was a positive, even though if it reverts the game to a little bit more arcadey than some of the simulation people want, ultimately I think it really helped the game. And I think when we look back on it, it's going to be a super positive. And as far as negatives, I mean, for me, it's always going to be that the 4 people that won the 4 majors didn't have a prayer to pass the ball. Like, they literally just ran the ball. 2 of them literally had no quarterback, and the other 2 that wanted no desire to pass the ball. So that's always going to be the big dark stain on this whole year. And no matter what, it's absolutely an unarguable fact. It is, you cannot put any words to argue that that's a positive. It is completely a stain on the entire year. But outside of the super competitive side, I think the year was a good, fun experience, especially with the abilities. But like I said, the negative is the fact that everybody that won the belt didn't pass.
Imagine building a football team and be like, nah, we don't need a quarterback. Like, can you imagine that? Like,
it's super rough.
It definitely is. And I mean, to me, I feel like I totally agree with the abilities, especially as a content creator. It made making videos good. It made streaming good. It made people want to watch. It was fun to be able to try out the different abilities and all that different stuff. The negative, I think, obviously, I felt like too many times it was, this is the ability to use. Like, you have this guy, use this ability. I want it to be like, I'm getting this guy, and you have like, okay, are you more of a runner or are you a passer? Okay, I actually do want to pass more. Maybe these abilities are a better option for you rather than those abilities. I felt like last year was too much like, this is the move, do this. I don't like when there's only one move. I feel like next year, if they get a little more balance and there's a few better options, like, oh, you can use this one, this one, this one, or that, depending on what your scheme is, I feel like would be the best, step for abilities. And I think that's what they're going to try to do there also. I feel like last year was really good. I feel like what's really going to hurt last year and what everyone thinks is just the stain is just the last few months. I mean, if they could have ended strong, obviously us waiting longer and stuff, no one remembers the first 8 months. Everyone always remembers the end,
That's what every Madden game. And like, now's the worst time to talk about the last year of Madden, because people are furious in the last 3 months. I always felt Madden should be judged around Christmas time.
Right.
When Tyreek Hill is like 93 speed or 94 speed, I think that's the best time to judge Madden rather than,
when I was using Devin Hester and human joystick, and he was like the first one, and I was pop passing. That was some, like, I was having fun playing weekend league. Like, I mean, it was enjoyable for me, and like that, like you said, at the prime, when everyone's on, when there's most people logged on, that's when you need to judge. And it was a good year for us, I think. But with that being said, now going into 21, you've played a little bit of the demo. We've talked about it. We don't have that much news. We got a little bit of a breakdown from Clint. We got a little bit of thoughts from Throne and stuff. But I want to know your thoughts with playing the demo, with what you expect. What is your outlook right now in the game? What would you like to see differently? What are your positive or negative thoughts coming to 21?
Positive is that it's another year into this abilities, era where they have abilities on your players. So let's find out the ones that were a little bit too much, and then let's make the ones that were a little bit weak a little bit better. Because like you said, there was like 10 abilities that were good on offense, right? Then the other like 30 were like, I'm not going anywhere near this.
Right.
Maybe it'll add some more to be better. I think anything with a year into it, the second year is always going to improve. And so for me, that's the exciting part, is like, let's improve on what we had. And a lot of times I feel like they try to take these drastic directions in a new game to promote something new or something. That's
Right.
just promotion and marketing. Is like, I want something new,
Of
I
course.
want a new feature, I want a new game. Let's go ahead and promote that rather than just fine tune what we had. And I think this year, whether it be with the virus and everything, maybe they were stuck and let's just improve what we have rather than push something completely new. And I think that's ultimately going to be a positive in the creation of Madden. And I think the new abilities are going to be better than they were this year. And I just talked about them. I think the addition to them was a positive this year. So making them better can only continue to be positive.
Right.
The negatives, I'm not a negative person. I never lived negatively. I don't think a game that we don't have yet has any negatives.
That's good though.
Obviously you can judge a beta. I'm not a huge beta guy. I'm not. One, because if I play it for 30 hours over the weekend, I'm never going to want to get back on the old Madden, and we still have a month left to play Madden,
Right.
so I never want to overdose myself on a beta and just continue to grind it. Two, it's going to be a little bit different, not drastically different, but it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm not the guy that sat on there for 30 hours. And honestly, I don't have a negatives. I feel like if you have negatives going into the game, I honestly feel like it's going to come out negative. Your mind is already working on making something a
Of course.
negative. And for me, that's kind of something I don't like to do. I mean, the only negative I can is that it's going to be the middle of August now, and we still don't have a game. That's the biggest negative. But I mean, hey, if it takes another month to get a good solid game out, I'm all for it.
Right. I would rather have a completed game than, them release something and have to patch 2 weeks later. The MUT sets aren't done. I mean, we've seen stuff in the past where there was no virus. They released the game and the modes weren't ready. Like, the stuff wasn't ready. So like, I would rather it just all be ready. And my thought is pretty much the same thing. I want more abilities. I think the fact that we saw, like, over the year, them tuning some abilities, them changing some of those, like, NFL 100 guys that had the pre-lit up abilities. They finally, nerfed Dickerson a little bit. They changed some of those things around, and they maybe weren't perfect, and it's hard to do that when something's already created. But the fact that they acknowledged the issues, the fact that they tried to balance, the fact that Clint already said in his interview, like, hey, we knew that this was the first year. We're going to try to take all that feedback and make more on it. That definitely leads me to hold hope, hold more positivity that there's going to be more excitement. Because when you see the idea of abilities down on paper, it's fun. It's fun. And if they can add a little bit more to it, that is going to be exciting to me. And the whole thing with just building the game, working on what they have, that is going to be something good. I don't need all these new menu systems. I don't need all that stuff. Of course, we would like some new things, and that's what I'm about to ask you right now, is it does look like we are going to be getting some new stuff coming with the yard, and then the other stuff that people have been talking about, the big three things right now, and that'll be my first question, would be your opinion. I think you were in a few franchises this past year, a few CFMs and stuff like that. As a content creator, as a streamer, as a competitive player, do you enjoy CFM? Do you feel like CFM still has a part within the community? And do you feel like if EA put time, money, resources into CFM, it would benefit everyone and the community?
Obviously, I mean, you learn in this last month or so that there's a huge CFM community. Now, I'll tell you, I play CFMs a lot this year, and I played them all the time. Between Madden like 10 and Madden 16, I was just pretty much a CFM guy. I would play with a bunch of friends. But for me, competition is always king. Like, playing the game is the fun part for me.
Right.
So all the extra features that essentially this entire uproar is about, to me, that kind of goes by the wayside, because I'm more about, let me get into the game, try to get X amount of yards to get this player boosted up, or win the game, or make the playoffs, make the Super Bowl, make a run like that. At the end of the day, my concentration is always on the game, who I'm playing, and how to get better at the game. That, whether it's in a CFM, whether it's in ranked games, whether it's in a tournament, I mean, it's always about the gameplay for me. So a lot of these complaints about CFM are purely cosmetic or the little features as far as training camps and restricted free agents, I heard was a big one. Like just things that for me are beyond just in the background. They're
So
not
you're
a
not
big
worried
deal
about
for me.
adjusting the prices of your hot dogs in your
No,
stadium and
see, and that's normally the joke that we all throw around. But for me, a lot of the complaints are very reasonable. But at the same time, when you're worried about that much stuff, at what point does it end? I
right.
feel like the sim community and everything, like you'll never have it fully simulation. Like nothing will be that way because it's just too hard. I mean, technology is just too
Right.
hard to have the simulation football or simulation team management. And essentially, what a lot of these people want is an NFL coach game. For
Yes.
me, Madden is about playing the game. So I love CFMs. I love being in a group of competitive people, but I want to win. I
Right.
don't care. I really don't care about, who I get to scout and how I scout and can I go to the Senior Bowl. To me, I feel like CFM was awesome. I really I really enjoy it, but like I said, so I'm the wrong person to ask because I care 98% about the game, and then the 2%, yeah, let me get some XP on my players.
Right.
That's about the length of it, for me.
I feel like the biggest problem with CFM is if you're not in that CFM, then you don't care about that CFM. If you're in the CFM, then you care about the CFM you're in. But as a creator, as a viewer, it's hard to become invested into a CFM as a series, as a viewer of a streamer or something like that. And I feel like if you are a CFM player, if you are a CFM streamer, if you're a CFM content creator, something like that, instead of being worried about updated coaches, updating menus and stuff, I'd be pushing for ways to make it better interactive. Be able to watch other games. Like, what if you were in the CFM and you were playing Skimbo and I can watch like your game or something like that.
Man, yeah.
More creative ways to be able to bring that community into your CFM. I think more online features, more different ways that you can do different things with your CFM that the viewers would be able to enjoy. Bring more eyes and stuff, I think would be a good step for the CFM. And with then that being said, this is all going to be guessing and all that kind of stuff. And I know you're a big Pro-Am 2K guy. I know you love it. I know you love the team aspect and you love doing it for the same reason I love doing it. For that team, grinding with everyone, planning to get everyone in that scheme. If we get a yard where it's 7-on-7 and you're creating your guy, is that something you're going to be invested in this year? If I said, hey, there's going to be a Pro-Am style Madden, you and your 6 buddies, Dubby makes a quarterback, Dubby makes a cornerback, and you play offensive, defense. Is that something that you would be invested in and do this year?
I mean, 100%. I think it's going to be a great addition because you just talked about you not being that tough at Madden, but now you can get wins because you'll have other people like myself piggybacking you, making sure you get wins.
Hop in the backpack.
So it's definitely, I think any mode that you add to the game is a positive. This is something I've been clamoring about, for years now, is some type of mode where you can play with more people. I mean, squads was good, but when we played it, we had to make rules that you can only pass, you can only do to users. There were so many rules to tailor it to be more fun and more user friendly, or just more entertainment value than what squads would be competitively, which is just a run fest and just something that's not that much fun to play or to watch. But I feel like the yard, it's something that's going to be great. I think, the ideas I have myself already for the yard is going to be amazing. The biggest problem is that
Eyeballs coming to the yard. Is Eddie going to be your yard character?
I'm interested on how it's going to work. I don't want to be tied down to one position. I don't want to be, I have to be a wide receiver. I have to be a quarterback.
Well, that's good to know because I don't know. I mean, I guess you could still do the eye black and stuff. I want the whole character. I feel like unless, the diehard W fans got to see that entertainment, but I feel like there were so many Madden guys that maybe didn't tune in to the MLB streams and stuff like that. I think your community really needs to see the eye black pouring down the face. I want Ray Lewis intros, like you just coming in with the smoke and everything. I want you to go all out this year.
You can't do that every time. It's like if you do it every time, it becomes saturated or
Absolutely.
oversaturated. And it's like, all right, it doesn't mean the same. It doesn't resonate on your players in the game the same way. Now that's for desperate times. Like when I'm feeling down and we need a spark of energy, like really bad, then you go to that. You can't do it all the time because then it loses its luster, so
That's
to
what
speak.
I'm telling you. They always want me to bring out the helmet, bro. I can't bring out
No,
LT's
that's
helmet
gotta be
unless
like
it's
once a
LT
month,
day. Like
maybe.
you
Yeah,
know?
it's gotta be once a month, maybe.
I only
They're
break it
gonna
out a few
die.
times a year. Like when LT's in packs and I'm pulling for LT, then I'll break out LT's helmet. Unless I'm pulling for
There you
LT,
go.
like I ain't wearing the helmet,
Yeah,
like
there you go. But
that's
yeah,
pretty much it. But so we got the franchise, we got the yard talk, and I guess this is gonna be your big thing because I already kind of saw you debating with some people on Twitter and all kinds of stuff, and I want to know in my mind, when you're talking about Madden 21 and what everyone's concerned right now is the user. And from playing the beta was the user, but you had a interesting perspective about what that skill gap will bring. So if I was going to tell you right now, the game comes out tomorrow, and they did not change the user from the way it was in the beta, would you be happy or would you be disappointed on that?
I mean, I don't think, I don't know. I think it's just something you get used to. One of the biggest things about a new Madden, right? Because we've played thousands of games of Madden. Stuff becomes super second nature to you. Like the button switching. I always say button switching is just the biggest knee jerk when they switch some buttons or something. It's the biggest knee jerk thing. Oh, why would they do that?
Like the
But I always tell
trucking
people,
is what you're talking
exactly,
about, right? Okay.
Right, the trucking thing. Why would they change that? But when you really think about it, in one day, you would be used to that. One day. That's all it takes. I was somebody that was upset when they changed icons of receivers in bunch. Like they would change the tight end to A when he's been R1 forever.
Right.
And I would be like, why would they do that? But it's something you literally get used to in a day.
Didn't
And
they
I think
change the linebacker shifting this year?
Yeah.
Like how you shifted or blitzed like the audible off of it? It took me like a week to learn.
Now, that's kind of a mental thing to make you feel like this is a new game.
Right.
I think they do some of that literally just to make it feel new.
Right.
Which I mean, that's kind of their job.
Right.
While I'm playing the new Madden, look, I got to learn this, that, and the third. It's not the same game as last year, and mentally that makes you think that. But it's just stuff you get used to because you play so much. And if my user is going to be 37 speed, then I will get used to that. Right now, what are we used to? Taylor Mays, who literally covers the entire field. If you want to, if I want to start over here on the left wide receiver and run and cover the right wide receiver, I can do that. Now, for people that can't pass that well, they think it's a little worse than it really is. But right now we're used to 99 speed, 99 acceleration, lurker, all these abilities. We're not used to, I can get on regs and go play money games on regs, and it's like, wow, even my Devin White, he feels like he's in quicksand because he's 92 speed. He's not Taylor Mays. You just got to realize what you're used to playing against. Now, when we hop on MUT the first day and everybody's using Devin White, who at the time was he going to have 79 speed the first day of MUT, the fastest linebacker?
Right.
Yeah, he's going to feel terribly, terribly slow. But I think it's just something in 1 week you'll get used to how fast the players move and what you're able to do with your user. So the fact I get more mad at the people that have this impression that the user covers the whole field during one play, can cover everybody, and that's not the case. He definitely can move wherever he wants if that's your goal prior to the player during the play. He can get wherever you want. Right. It's just a matter of when to do it and when to do it effectively that makes people bad or good.
Right. And I mean, I definitely get that. Like as thinking as an offensive minded player, once again, not being a top 100 player, I would like to be able to look at my first read and be like, okay, the user's on my first read. If my second read, as long as my second read isn't just rubbing shoulders with my first read, my second read is maybe like the drag over here. I would like to be able to throw to my second read without having that chance of him literally coming 50 yards across the field and then pick it off. Obviously, faster animations, the faster I process that and actually make that throw is going to break the skill gap and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't want some 5-year-old that just picked up the game just to be able to use the speed to go down there and make that play also. And I mean, I felt like me as a not a great player, defense was my strongest thing last year because I could go to nickel over G. I can bring my strong safety down to a linebacker spot. I can put Lurker on him. I can put my guys in the zones on the outside and take care of everything down the line. And my best feature was my user. I got good stick. That's my good that I feel like is my stronger point is my defensive lurking ability. I'm not a top 100 player, but I'm good. I'm good at that. You know, if you throw at me, I'm not going to like run away from the ball. So I felt like that was my strong suit, that I could just cover so much of the field. I can cover ins, I can cover drags, I can cover the post, I can cover all that stuff with my strong safety now that is running back in a linebacker situation. I don't want it to be where I feel like I'm using Vita Vey as my linebacker, and that's what the Reddit post was. Our linebackers are Vita Vey or something like that. But I want that balance. You know, I don't want a guy to be able to literally cover the entire field, but I don't want to be running around with Vita Vey also. And like you said, our mindset is we just got done playing all these games where everyone's 99, 99. You got all these abilities. Not only do you have abilities, but you got the good abilities. They're the 99 abilities. Then you got 4 abilities, and you got all this other stuff on them. So you're playing this, and you're like, man, this guy's awesome. And then you go play. It's all relative. It's all relative. If your linebacker 79 speed, but the fastest guy on the other side of the field is only 85, you know, it's a big difference. It's a big difference.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, listen, we'll get used to it. I think all this stuff goes out the window as soon as the game comes out and everybody starts playing it. I think people will definitely won't be as big an issue once we play it for a week straight.
Day one, game comes out. It's the 20th. It's probably going to be about midnight. What's the first thing you're doing? As a competitive player, as the Dubby mindset, what's your first thing when you turn on the game? What are you doing?
I mean, obviously, I would probably be streaming at the time. So the first thing I'm going to do is just do my MUT team. I'm getting my MUT team ready. If I was streaming now, if I was Skimbo or somebody that I'm not streaming, I just want to learn to get better, I would probably 100% probably do the same thing, really, because MUT is kind of the cornerstone of the competitive side now. You know, I think it's a big deal to make sure your team is good right away. But I would want to play one of my buddies like instantly. I mean, I'm assuming when Madden drops, everybody will be in their respective discords and looking to play games, really.
So when you get the game, are you playing against your buddy with a starter team, or are you buying a bundle and be like, all right, one bundle each and then we play? Or like, are you playing like the first solo string to maybe get like that, like a few extra guys? Because I know you're not a solo guy. I can tell you when the game comes out, like you're going to get a 99 overall quarterback if you play 5 solos, and you're probably not going to play those 5 solos. But like, what are you doing to? Are you just hopping in with your starter team to start getting coins and buying guys, or are you still going to buy like a few packs? Well, I mean, obviously, if you pre-order, you get some packs, and you'd probably open that, but.
Now, in my lifetime of MUT, I've always said as soon as I get a quarterback, I'm in the game.
Okay.
Like I'm just playing seasons right away. As soon as I get Russell Wilson or Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or even Brady or any quarterback that's I feel is, you know, top 5 or so that can swing, or anybody that can throw the ball. So I'm not losing games just because my quarterback's throwing the ball into the stands.
Okay.
That has always been my mindset. If I get a quarterback, I can go. You know, now that I'm streaming and people are watching, now it's going to be like, all right, I'm going to rip, $500, $1,000 worth of packs, get as the best team possible. Once I get, 10 players that I really want, whether it be Patrick Peterson and Ramsey and Lamar Jackson and Tyreek Hill. Once I get those guys, okay, now let's go. Just bang out games, as far as ranked games. As far as if I was playing my buddies and wasn't streaming, I'm pretty sure for you'd just be playing regs right away, just playing regular teams, Chiefs versus Ravens or whatever team is hot
or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, completely. I would tell you that the competitive guys probably just hop right into games rather than into MUT. I think they're just going to want to just keep playing games and start learning. A lot of Madden, honestly is who finds out what's good first. And you can
Right.
look back at a lot of tournaments within the last 4 or 5 years is who had the best defense before anybody else, or who had the best running plays before anybody else. And that's kind of the hustle to start Madden on the competitive side. It's like, let's look through all these defenses and see which one works the best, or what running play is going to really dominate, or what passing play is the best.
I
And
mean,
what scheme works the best. Really.
within our Skype, within the first 3 days, there'll be like 50 messages from Jacoby. Oh, do this. Oh, do this. I'm hearing this. It's always Jacoby out there freaking telling you something, right?
Yeah. So, well, Jacoby's the guy with all the answers, but none of the success. So, so there goes to your point, is if you have the knowledge, that's all it is. It's really not everything, but it is a big part of it.
I'll tell you one thing that I think would be good. I would like you to think about this. Just talking here, I kind of thought about this. One thing that I would like to see, first night, your stream, and I think it'd be good as viewers and maybe a good video or so. I would like to see what you would be able to do in MUT. You get your pre-order, you open up your starter pack, you maybe get that Lamar Jackson I think you get for pre-ordering, and then I want to see what you do with your starter team in a season. Like first season with a starter team, and like see if you can win this. I mean, obviously you'd be on rookie 1 and all that kind of stuff, but I think that would be good to see you do, like play a season with your starter team. I think that could be an entertaining thing, watching you play with these like 59 overall guys, like some of these dudes. That could be funny.
Well, I'm gonna have at least 2 accounts. How many accounts do you have in Madden season, like to make sure you can open as many packs as possible?
2 or 3, depending.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, what do I want to do with these other accounts? Because obviously, I'm gonna have my main account and have the best team I possibly can have.
Right.
But what am I gonna do with it? I'm never gonna do no money spent, because I'd have to play solos, and solos to me are just absolutely just dreadful. Video games to me always became better when I played other people. Playing the computer is for Mario. That's what it's for. Play Mario. Playing the computer is absolutely brainless, and I hate doing it. I feel no desire to do it. So I don't think I can
to
do
play the
no,
solos for you. You need to get you like Tricky while you sleeping. Be like, yo, Tricky, hop on this thing, grind me out some solos.
I think for me, so I'm trying to figure out what can I do with these other accounts, and maybe getting that one pre-order, getting that one card or the one starter thing is it. But I'm never going to play solo. So no money spent completely will never be an option for me, But one thing that I do always want to dismiss is this notion that you have to spend thousands of dollars to compete in Madden. Now, it would help, and 2, you're either spending $1,000 of money or you're spending $1,000 of time. The time it would take me to make my team worth $1,000 is less expensive, or is probably more expensive than it would to just pay that. Because if it's going to take me, 50 hours to get X amount of my team this good, I could have used those 50 hours better. I could have used those 50 hours going to Walmart and working for $14 an hour, because I would have made more money. So people that understand money is a commitment. Either with your money or your time, but either way, it really is. And I do want to dismiss the notion that you need to spend money, man. I
feel like this past year was like the biggest year where you didn't have to, especially if you were, obviously, the better the player, the easier it was for you. And I use Snap as the most extreme example there is. Snap spent $200 day 1 of Madden and then never spent another dollar on his account. Now, obviously, he finished weekend league every weekend, top 10, top 25, and all that kind of stuff, and doing all those things, and he played all the solos, but he literally had every card he ever wanted the day it came out, 8 million coins stacked out, and he didn't even play that many solo battles. But if you're not that good, then maybe you have to add solo battles to it, and add some more solos. The better that you are, the less you have to play, but you could 100% put in the work, play every day, play hours every day, and be there. And the more money you spent, the less time you had to put in to be able to be there, obviously.
Yeah, and this is what's crazy. We spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars every week, right, to have a player with one more speed.
Yep.
The card is not that much different than the one you have.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I have never lost a game nor won a game because one of my receivers was 1 point faster than the next guy's, ever.
I mean,
Now I
you
remember
use Pat Pete like all year, and he
yeah,
was
he's Pat Pete all year, and people say he's too slow. He can play out here all year. Now I remember, man, 16 was the year Perriman was a god.
right.
Because remember they started with 97 speed.
Yeah,
yeah. They got rid of that real quick. They changed because Perriman was we can play him for 8 months.
Right.
These guys never need to buy stuff because Perriman is a day one or he's damn near
more of a
game wide receiver.
Like
yes, they made it so you're not going to buy cars the first day and never buy again.
Right.
They literally made it so we spend this money to get 1 point better every week.
Oh yeah,
literally. And it's one position gets 1 point better every week. That's literally what we do. So, I mean, you can be a month behind on cards, which is super cheap to do. When a card is a month old, it's super cheap.
it is.
You can be a month behind on cards and still compete with anybody if you're good enough. There's never a huge gap in teams as it has been in the past. Like right now, and that's why I said training. You can have say the new Randy Moss comes out. Boom, damn! I can't buy Randy Moss. He's 1 million coins, but I can get his power up all the way up to that notch below, where instead of 95, he's got 94 speed. Okay, now I can go do some work with Randy Moss. Absolutely. So I think Mud has really narrowed down the whole. Man, but this guy's team is that much better, and so people still complain about people's teams. It's just the laziest thing to complain about, and I just it just boils my blood when I hear that. It's like I feel like I could sit any human being down and change their mind about this, and literally, like I really feel that way, and I feel like that's one of my jobs or my obligations, so to speak, as somebody that's in this position in the Madden community. Really,
right.
Like
I mean, they see YouTubers, they see people like me and CC that obviously spend a ridiculous amount of money, but it's our jobs, and we're lucky enough to be able to make a good amount of money, so we can spend the stupid amount of money, and it still be beneficial for us. But the thing is, when you look at people like me and CC is a huge example, right? Why do you need 30 million coins? You don't need 30 million coins. If you just have the quarterback you want or just the running back you want and you have your team, you don't need 5 million, 10 million, 20 million coins. Yes, it could be fun and that kind of stuff to be able to do the other mutt stuff in the game, rip pointless packs and all that kind of stuff we do. But if you're talking about just competing, being able to play the game, keep up, you don't need that. You just need the amount of coins to just sell the guy that you had before, add that to your coin pack, and then get the next guy. Wait a week or two, and then just go. And, I mean, unfortunately, I think YouTubers make it hard because they see us spend money every bundle, every weekend, and that kind of stuff. But we try. I know I tell people all the time, like, yo, I'm doing the stupid shit right now, so you guys don't have to. Like, I have the benefit. And I mean, if you want to be good and you want a team and you want it that bad, then just like Dubby said, just play, put in the time, and you will have it. If you really want it bad enough, find your friends, get with your group. I know for a fact that Dubby's got a Discord. He's got all kinds of people. Find streamers. There are plenty of streamers out there and communities out there, and I feel that's one thing that our Madden community took a huge jump last year of working together, become more friends together, more community together. Everyone's brands took the next step with getting Discords and I know you guys did sub tips, and there's so many options out there that if you want that knowledge, it's there. And I know I'm excited to see what you guys do. I want to get a little bit better. I've already invited you. I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to keep on pestering you. I want you to come here. We get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of labbing. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we do weekend league. And I finish top 100. Then you can go home on Sunday. I think that'd be fun. You'd get me my first top 100 on Xbox because I did it on PlayStation. That doesn't count. And I think that would be something fun because I want to be able to take my knowledge to the next level. I want to take my gameplay to the next level. And I think that can be something that both of our communities would enjoy. You giving me a hard time playing Madden and me really trying to get to the top 100. Because one thing about both of us, we'll give it 110%. One thing you know about me is I definitely am a competitive person. So I would like to do that. I'm looking forward to doing all kinds of community things this year. I want to do more series like this where we're working on people. I know I want to get you guys involved in bundle battles and do all kinds of stuff. So I greatly do appreciate your time, Dubby. I'm really excited to see what you got planned for us this year. I'm hoping Eddie Eyeballs, or I don't know if it'd be Eddie Eyeballs, but Eddie makes his way some way. Yeah, that character makes his way to Madden, but
I mean,
keep up
he
the
might
good work,
make
man.
it.
Keep up
Yeah,
the
we'll
good work.
see. We'll see what it's like with a creative player. But he might make it. But it's Madden, so I might have to make myself. If it's my specialty, it has to be myself rather than the creative player. But we shall see, man. Maybe we'll give the opportunity to have multiple, yard players.
I like it, man. I like your passion. I like your positivity, and you've been a good friend, man. So I wish nothing but luck, good luck and success for you in the next year. Don't do too much more with your setup because I can't have you getting a better setup than me. Like your background's already looking real good. So
yeah, you got to catch up. Honestly.
I got to get the top 100 so
up.
I can add my Saquon photo and get you to
Yeah,
draw me a
there you
Saquon
go.
picture.
That would be it. That the top 100.
That would
I
be
thought
it.
it was 20. It's 20 wins top 100. I think you can get 20 and not
20
make
wins
top
top
100.
100. Yeah, I think
right.
we got to be able to get there, man. I greatly do appreciate it, man. Once again, guys, all Dubby's links will be down in the description. Make sure you guys go check him out. Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. He's everywhere. If you guys want your knowledge, you guys want to know what's going on, you want the meta, he does weekly podcasts. If you want to know what is going on with Madden next year, make sure you guys follow W. He will make sure you guys know everything from MCS to the metas to what everyone's doing, gameplay, and he will even add some more entertainment to you guys this year. So greatly do appreciate your time. Hope everyone has a great day. We out, boys. Yeet!